Hey friends, welcome back to This Homeschooling Naturopath. If you're new here, my name's Hannah and I'm a homeschool mom of 3 girls who are 11, 9, and 7, and I'm also a fully qualified naturopath living in New Zealand. On this channel, I like to share content related to homeschooling, homemaking, motherhood, as well as some naturopathic info throughout some of my content here. Today's video, I am super excited to be sitting down to film for you guys because I'm going to be giving you my initial thoughts as well as a full flip through of this beautiful unit study right here from Forest, Rain, and Wonder, and this is a child's guide to sustainable nutrition and getting back to our roots. So if you're interested to hear my initial thoughts and see a full flip through of this beautiful unit study, keep watching. Here we are, A Child's Guide to Sustainable Nutrition and Getting Back to Our Roots from Jenny over at Forest, Rain, and Wonder. So before I get into my full initial thoughts on this, as well as the flip through, I want to give just a little bit of background in what led me to choose this particular unit study. So for my oldest daughter, she is very interested in food and nutrition and has been for a very long time, and this homeschool year I really wanted to cater to that interest, and so I started browsing around online for some different homeschool curriculum, unit studies, whatever I could find. A common theme that I was continuously seeing in food and nutrition courses by other curriculum companies was the idea that a low-fat diet is best. And two things that really stuck out to me, there were a couple of assessment questions that I saw. And one of the questions on this assessment was explain 4 reasons why eggs are bad for you. Okay. And then the next one was explain or give 5 reasons why a low-fat diet is best, or explain why a low-fat diet is more beneficial. So I immediately was very discouraged with what I was seeing out there on the market as far as food and nutrition courses go for, kids her age. She's 11, 6th grade. Now, I am certainly not here to tell you how you should be eating or to even give my opinion on what the best diet practices are. However, I do have a 4-year degree in naturopathic medicine and nutrition, and a huge part of what a naturopath does is food and nutrition, because food is medicine. So part of my job title when I was working is naturopath and clinical nutritionist, and it always fascinates me how 2 different nutritionists who have studied for the same amount of time can have such differing opinions on something as simple as whether or not fat is good or bad for you. I feel like there's a lot of misinformation and things can get skewed either way, and yeah, but it always does fascinate me how there's 2 completely different ends of the scale. Anyways, so I certainly wasn't going to hand my daughter something that totally contradicted how we eat in our home. So yeah, I was very discouraged with what I saw in a lot of other curriculums out there when it comes to food and nutrition. And thankfully, right at the same time, Jenny from Forest, Rain, and Wonder released this incredible unit study here. And I can confidently say that my initial thoughts of this unit study are incredibly positive. I have read through all of the information in here before I handed it to my daughter, and honestly, Jenny has hit the nail on the head with this. So much of this information, I could literally go through my textbooks that I used to study at university, and the information in here is comparable to what I studied. So honestly, it's so much rich information in this unit study, and I am so thrilled and thankful to Jenny for creating such an awesome unit. And not only is it aesthetically pleasing and beautiful to look at, I mean, the graphics in here are phenomenal, but the information is solid and will give your children real life information about what real nutrition is and actually eating healthy in our modern day society. So all in all, that is my initial thoughts of it. We've only been using this now for 6 weeks, so I can't give you like a full review thus far, obviously, but my initial thoughts are that this is awesome. So I'm going to flip the camera around now and show you guys a full flip through of this beautiful unit study. Okay, here we go. So when you buy this amazing guide from Forest, Rain, and Wonder, you actually receive 4 different sets of books. The first one here is a 96-page parent guide, and then you will also receive 3 different workbooks, which are suited for different age levels. So right now, I will just give you a little flip through of this amazing parent guide. Here is the table of contents. This gives you a really good overview of all the information that Jenny covers throughout this unit. And as you can see, there is a lot of good info in this unit. Just looking at the table of contents, we start off with how did our ancestors eat, looking at the difference between ancestral and modern nutrition, vitamins and minerals, organic versus conventional farming, fermentation, dairy, meat. We also cover eggs, the good, the bad, the ugly of fat and oil, grains, nuts and seeds, fruits and vegetables, sugar and blood sugar, and then some really awesome bonus lessons about stress and mindfulness and sleep and exercise and all of that good stuff. And then one thing that I really appreciate that Jenny incorporates into all of her units is a beautiful visual list of different recommended reads and different documentaries to watch. I personally find it very helpful having this visual guide to constantly go back to. And then we come to these pages here, which is the introduction to parents. And here Jenny has really just laid out a quick summary of what information you will be seeing throughout this unit. She talks all about how it is mainly based on the ideas of wise traditions and the teachings of Weston A. Price. There's also a little bit down here about how to use this curriculum. There's a little disclaimer on making sure you watch the links and the QR codes and all of that. And that actually is another thing that I really do appreciate when it comes to Jenny's units, is that she always incorporates QR code links throughout the pages, which makes it very helpful for the teacher when sitting down and discussing these things, because you don't have to search for anything, you don't have to Google and all of that. The QR code links are just there for you to access, and it makes it much easier. Now, what's really cool and unique about this unit in particular is that it can be done family style, where you sit down as the teacher and teach this to multiple age levels and multiple children, or like how we are using it in our home, you can also just give this to your child and have them read through it themselves and do the workbook pages themselves. And that is obviously what we've been doing. And to me, that just reflects how well this unit has been written. The information is comprehensive enough for a teacher to teach multiple students, but it is also, basic enough and little bite-sized pieces to suit an 11-year-old child who's reading this on their own. We really don't find that the information throughout this unit is overwhelming at all. The lessons are just the right size for a student to read on their own and to understand. Like I've already said, comprehensive yet simple enough for everybody to be able to partake and understand. There are definitely many topics that come up throughout this unit that do require a lot more conversation. I know my daughter has had a lot of questions come up after having read the lesson and having done the work. She just has so much more that she is eager to learn about, and so it's great to be able to answer her questions and to have that back and forth conversation, and to do a little bit more digging and research into topics that she's really interested in. There is a lot of information to get through here. We personally are just taking this very, very slow. My daughter only does one lesson a week, and even then we kind of will break the lessons up here and there as we need to. What I don't want for her is to feel any type of fear or overwhelm when it comes to these certain types of things, when it comes to organic versus conventional farming and, toxic kitchen tools and stuff like that. Like, I don't want to harbor any type of fear in her. And so that's why I think also having that conversation back and forth with your child is just incredibly important when studying through these different topics. And what I would also say is that you should be prepared for your child to potentially call you out on things that you may have slipped on over the years. I know we use plastic containers in our house because that is just what's convenient. I have found that the glass, storage containers for leftovers, the lids just never fit on them properly, and it really has irritated me over the years. So we use plastic for that reason. And I have had my daughter call me out on that so far from studying this unit. So just little things like that. I would say prepare yourself for your children to potentially call you out on these things. Now sometime around here, as I was filming this flip through, I realized that some of these pages were all over the place. They were all in the wrong spot, so I'm going to apologize for that. This is not doing the unit justice, having the pages in the wrong spots. That is totally my bad. Obviously, I shouldn't just trust my printer to print them out in order and bind them as such, but there you go. Another thing I really like about this unit is all of the beautiful healthy recipes that are included throughout. I think this is a really cool thing to have throughout this unit as well, showing children some actual real-life examples of easy things that they can use and cook in their own homes that will allow them to be using this information that they've been learning about. Another thing that I really appreciate about this unit is the specialized children's workbook pages that Jenny has incorporated alongside of this unit. So at the time that I purchased this, there were only 2 workbooks available. However, now there are 3. If you buy this unit today, you get a workbook for children age K through 2, 3 through 5, and 6 through 8. So when I bought it, there were only K through 2 and 2 through 5. So this particular workbook here that I'm going to be flipping through first is the K through 2, which I printed out for my youngest daughter when I was kind of umming and ahhing about whether or not I wanted to do this unit as a family subject or whether or not I was going to give it to my eldest as an elective. I definitely think that this unit would be very suitable to do as an entire family subject. That's just not how we planned to do it this year. I do feel like older children would probably get a lot more out of this. I know that my eldest is really just absorbing so much and taking it all on board, whereas younger ones probably wouldn't as much. But nonetheless, the information in here is still awesome for all ages. If you're already eating this way and, this is your lifestyle anyways, then I'm sure your younger ones are picking up on all this information regardless. Moving on now to the workbook for the 2 through 5. Again, this will, the ages have changed now, but this is my oldest daughter's workbook that she's currently going through. Had the 6 through 8 workbook been available when I purchased this, I would have most definitely printed that level out for her instead. I've not seen that, so I'm not sure how it differs from this level here. But also, this is a good amount of workbook pages for my daughter to do, and I have told her also that, I'm not really requiring her to do these pages. The main thing that I really want her to focus on is reading the information and seeking to really understand it, and then of course having conversations with her about the information after the fact. So there you have it, my friends. All in all, very, very positive first thoughts of this beautiful unit study. I definitely recommend it if you're looking for something like this. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys next week. Bye!